Well, welcome back to the Camera Life podcast, everybody. It is Monday, the 16th of March, if you can believe that. And we have got an action-packed show for you tonight. Well, maybe not action-packed, maybe just packed, because I'm going to stay seated. Seated.
Seated.
I'm sure. Seated. I made up a word. Stick around tonight. We've got a fair bit to get through, but a couple of previews for you is we've got Charlie Blevins here from Fujifilm Australia to talk about the upcoming Fujifilm Creator Summit in Melbourne. Not Sydney, I know, Melbourne. We'll get to that in a minute. But we've also got some other bits and pieces that we're going to cover off. Plus, we're going to take a look at the potential future of Photoshop editing. So stick around for that. Now, this is, of course, the Camera Live podcast. We do this twice a week. We record live every Monday evening, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight or Standard Time, Melbourne time, basically. Not Sydney, Melbourne. And then again every Thursday morning. We have an amazing photographer who joins us on the show for a live chat, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight or Standard Time, to learn all about their craft, their journey, and what got them to where they are today. In fact, if you want to see Charlie's episode, you're going to have to dial way back. I'm pretty sure it was like episode 29. It was one of the first podcasts I was involved in. Yeah, wow. It was a long time ago. 29. I've lost count of what we're up to now. It's like 170 or something. But what else was I going to say to you guys? Oh yeah, but if you don't have time to watch this, or maybe you want to just listen along while you're at the gym or on a drive, we are available on all good audio podcast channels as well, and obviously twice a week live here on YouTube.
That's it. We are live. We're live right now, Greg, and there's people in the chat. Look at them. They're pouring in, coming at it. Look at them all. LTK's here. David Skinner's here. Greg Carrick is here. He's probably doing his own radio show as we speak. Yo, dudes.
Probably.
Yo, indeed. Nick Fletcher's here. Bruce Moyle, Tweak Productions. Who else? Rick Nelson, Lisa Leach, Digifrog from Tassie, Philip Johnson, Brett Wooderson. Oh, and of course, Dennis First. School of Light says, "Oh boy, I need you lot in my life today." Oh. We need you too, Dennis. Anyone else? Oh, and Lucinda and Robert Varner from New Jersey.
They're all dropping in.
They're all dropping in. Paul Henderson, good to be back. It is good to be back.
Yep. Now, in case you're new here, I'm Greg, and to my right or left, I can't work it out. Justin's in the middle. And of course, we are joined today by Charlie Blevins from Fujifilm Australia. How have you been, Charlie?
Hey, been pretty good, Greg. Thanks so much for having me on here, Justin and Greg.
Of course. Anytime. Every time.
Anytime. Now, there's a fair bit going on in the Fujifilm space at the moment. Obviously, the greatest camera developer, manufacturer, designer in the world. There's no doubt about that. And but there's a few things that are happening right now and coming up in Melbourne for Fujifilm fans. Just very quickly, we've talked about this on the show previously, but you guys have a pop-up store happening in Melbourne at the moment. Do you want to tell us just very quickly about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Chadstone, like we call it our Fujifilm experience, a house of photography experience, because we have one in Sydney where we showcase every single lens and every single body, and our specialist there who knows our gear quite well. And so quite often there are many folks, not just in Sydney, but all over the country, like, oh, it'd be cool if there was something like that similar in different parts of the state. So of course, we just want to provide that experience for Melbourne and be like, well, great, come and experience our gear, come experience the specialists. And we do have workshops that are taking place there as well. So I was there for a good, maybe about 8 days, and I'll be back again this Friday to Saturday. And it's just been overall just such a great experience of just meeting a lot of, just not Fujifilm users, but folks who are just genuinely interested of just in the craft and asking questions like, oh, how can I do this? How can I do that? So I look at it as an experience for folks to just be really equipped for whatever season that folks are in.
That's pretty cool. And do you think that this might become a roving pop-up display? Do you think it'll head to other cities, or?
I'm not too sure. I mean, it's something that, the team has to kind of discuss and hear the feedback overall. But I think at this stage, we just want it to be a really positive experience for those who love Fujifilm or who just loves photography in Melbourne.
Yep. Nice.
I think it's a great idea because as much as there's tons of great camera stores in and around Melbourne, but it's a big demand for them to stock everything from every brand. Obviously the product ranges are so big. And even a friend of mine who's been borrowing my Leica Q3 for a while now, about 4 weeks, because she's an ex-pro photographer and has now got sort of just a regular career. And she's been out of photography for probably more than 5 years, I think, mainly. And she's like, I want to get back into something that's just about photography. I'm not doing professional work. It's just for me, for travel, for that sort of stuff. And she wants something small. And obviously the Leica's been on the list, but she's also been kind of looking at Fujifilm, but not sure about crop sensor and stuff like that. And I was telling her about what Greg shoots with, the XE5 with a nice prime lens would be ideal. But she went to Melbourne and couldn't track one down to get hands on with it. And I was like, there's a pop-up shop that's going to have everything. Yeah. So hopefully she'll make a trip down.
Yeah.
Although, do you have an XE5 at the pop-up store?
Yes, absolutely. We have that in every camera body, and I believe every lens is there as well. So it's definitely a great experience just to kind of see different combos. And I like to think of cameras as a glove that sometimes when you actually hold it in your hand, like it may just feel just right, but other times you're like, oh, the grip isn't that good of whatnot, and then you may feel like actually I resonate better with that camera body in itself. Yeah. So it's really important just to be able to test it out.
Yeah, super important.
Yeah,
Greg, I just got a missed call from Nick Fletcher. Sorry, Nick, my phone wasn't on the loudness thing. So feel free to call back anytime. Oh, Charlie, we've got a live call-in number now, so people can just call the show. It's crazy. Yeah, we'll see.
That's so cool.
We'll see if he calls back.
Yep.
Hang on, he's calling back.
Oh, he is. All right. Let's see what Nick Fletcher has to say.
Let's see what Nick said.
The world
Fujifilm fan.
Fletcher. All right.
Let's see if we can get him to actually connect to the audio. Can you hear us, Nick? No? Yes? Maybe? Come on. Hold on. Hold on, Nick. Yeah. We're almost there. The Roadcast is coming back to life. It's waking up. Can you hear us, Nick? Nick? Anything? Oh, gosh.
No.
It's
He'll call back
every time. No, he's still there.
Is he? Oh, just
he's still there. Yep. Anyway, anything, Nick? Sorry. All right. Roadcaster's not playing ball tonight.
All right. Let's move
no
along.
problem.
Now, oh, there he is.
There he is. Every time. Just when you're about to cut the call.
What I love is the longer you do this, the slicker you get. It's seamless now, isn't it? It's amazing.
Not me. It's flawless.
It's
like magic. Yeah, call him Houdini.
Anyway, what's up, Nick?
I was ringing to give a quick advertorial on the Fuji shop because when I go up to Sydney, which is every week, I stay exactly opposite. And as you guys know, I don't shoot a lot of Fuji. I mainly shoot Nikon, but I have got a couple of Fuji play cameras. And you can just wander in there and go, hey, I think this does double exposure, doesn't it? And they'll go, oh, yeah, here's how you do it. And what I love even better is if you go in and say, oh, I want to get a X100 6, do I order it with you? They'll often say, no, it's actually faster. If you just go down the road and order it in Camera House, you'll get it faster. They're not there to sell you anything. It's wonderful.
Yeah, but you can buy from them if you want to, can't you?
You can do, but they won't. If they know you can get it faster somewhere else, they'll send you off to do that.
That's great.
They're just there to make your life better through Fuji. It's wonderful. Like, so if you're just curious, but you don't think you want to buy something, just go in and they'll be delighted to spend time with you. I love them.
That's great. That's good feedback. And I especially love that it's a specialized store. So, like Justin was talking earlier about going into camera stores, into retail stores, you can't expect the shop person on the floor to know everything about every camera from every brand. And so you can go and ask very specific questions, like you said, double exposure, or, how do I set it up to suit this? How do I get it ready for video? And you can speak to someone who knows the gear inside and out. I think that's priceless.
Yeah, love them.
Is that how you ended up with your GFX 100 RF?
Well, no, I actually got choked out, if you remember.
Oh, yes, I do remember the story. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Accident.
They tricked you into it.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Awesome. All right. Anything else, Nick? Right.
See you later, boys. No, keep it up. Oh, great. Love the stuff you're posting on the Facebooks the other day. That was beautiful.
Thanks, mate. That was all shot on Fujifilm.
See ya.
So,
See ya.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks for the call. That's how
dear.
seamless it is, Charlie. That's how
Yep.
seamless it is. Our tech
See,
is second to none.
Technology.
Stepped up a notch. Very small
Sort of.
notch, but a notch nonetheless. Now, Charlie, of course, the Melbourne pop-up store, House of Photography pop-up store, isn't the only big thing that's happening for Melbourne. With Fujifilm this year, we have an event coming up very soon. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about the upcoming Fujifilm Creator Summit in Melbourne?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much to share about it. I mean, to understand Melbourne, we need to understand what took place in Sydney. Is that, last year we had our Creator Summit that was in Sydney. Myself with the team, we all made the decision to say that, for this Creator Summit, we want it to just be so much more bigger than ourselves. Like, we need to create a space for creators to come in, whether you're into photography, videography, content creation, all of the above, and just create the space for folks to actually come and learn from the experts and learn from brands who are really, really excited about their craft. And from that experience that we learned is that the appetite wasn't only just for Sydney, but it was a national experience. Like, we had folks that would fly in interstate wanting to get a taste of what we had to offer in that space there. And so through the feedback that we realized that Melbourne was there's so much opportunity there where a lot of folks really wanted something similar to take place there. So after we've taken the feedback and through relationships and through conversations, the Creator Summit for Melbourne has been established. And so a couple key things about that is that it's going to take place on the 9th of May, which is a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Timber Yard in Port Macquarie.
Yep. Port Melbourne.
Now, Port Melbourne. Did I say Port Macquarie? Sorry.
did.
Port
That's
Melbourne.
That's the
Port
annex,
Melbourne.
the Port Macquarie annex, but mostly in Melbourne.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. And so for every ticket holder, so I think tickets are about $45 just for the early bird. But in terms of value, you have 20 plus sessions, you got 15 plus creators that will be there, and each ticket holder will have a $250 of value in a goodie bag. And of course, with Alpaca, you will also get that custom tote bag as well.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's pretty much what it is in a nutshell. But I could talk about speakers and partners, but I'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, no, that sounds really cool. I mean, I remember last year when it was on in Sydney, I felt a bit bummed out by not being able to go up and take part. You went up, didn't you, Justin?
No, that was the what was it called? The Frame Fest, the one that was
that's right. It was different.
like the
Another
more
brand.
generic. No, it was sort of like they had like Fujifilm had a huge presence at Frame Fest.
that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, but it wasn't Fujifilm led. Yeah.
I got that mixed up. Now, you were saying, Charlie, you do have a lot of presenters coming up, and just looking at the schedule, there's a hell of a lot going on, and you've even got some of our past guests joining you, Michael Coyne, Russell Ord. Who else have we got there? Yourself, obviously. We've had you on the podcast.
Yep.
So when you say that there's sessions, what are these sessions that you're referring to? What can people expect?
Yeah, so for example, when we think about our key speakers, so we got Tony Lodge and Ryan John, so hosts of the Tony and Ryan podcast. So for example, they're doing a whole talk on building a community that shows up. And so in terms of their podcast as a whole, it's really just about how to just be genuine in the way that they connect with their audiences. Another guest speaker we have is Jordan Hammond, who's a travel photographer, and his session's about travel content through meaningful work. And so there's some inspirational talks that are going to take place during the day, but there'll also be some hands-on workshops that'll take place too. So I believe Vui, Vui's doing a workshop of just how to photograph drinks, and I believe James Tran is doing a workshop on how to photograph in very low light settings. And then myself, my workshop, it's about craft, rhythm, and heritage on how to photograph taiko, which is quite exciting too. So we want it to just be really practical for the or provide these experiences for those who don't really have the opportunity to kind of photograph these kind of out of the box kind of experiences.
Yeah, yep. I'm particularly, we talked just before we went live, I'm very excited about the taiko drumming workshop to be able to capture that action, because it's quite a powerful and a energetic musical act, I guess you'd call it. I'm not sure, but yeah, that certainly caught my eye. But there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, and often I saw that some of the workshops and sessions are repeated throughout the day, just so that if you missed out in the morning session because of a conflict with something else, you can do it in the afternoon.
That's correct.
Very
But yeah,
cool.
that's
Now,
correct. So it really is a choose your own adventure. So if you don't really resonate with one type of workshop, there's definitely there's an appetite for everything that's there.
yeah. And you mentioned some of the partners that are going to be involved, and obviously Alpaca was a big partner for you guys last year,
Yes.
and they're back again this year. Who are the other partners that Fujifilm have roped in for this?
Yep. So we got Alpaca, we got BenQ, we got Adobe, Atomos, let's see, Leophoto, Nisi, Nanlite, and Rode.
Oh
I
wow!
think that's all of them there. So, as I said in the beginning, it's like when it comes to brands, like we just want to ensure that we resonate really well in terms of for those who are just really about giving back like to the community and through their knowledge and through their experiences too. But yeah, expect those brands to really show up at the Creator Summit.
Yep, very cool. Now,
Epic.
this isn't the first time that Fujifilm have held this kind of event at the Timber Yard. Years ago, there used to be
Yeah,
what was it? People with cameras.
People with
used to
cameras.
take place.
That's
And,
right.
yeah, and one of them
That was
at
big.
the Timber Yard.
right.
I think it was the second or the third year it was on. I can't remember. Greg Carrick might know. He was there. But
Yep.
that was such a great event. It's a very similar kind of theme about giving back to the community, providing opportunity and scope for people to explore photography, regardless of what your genre is or your skill level. And I imagine that this Creator Summit has obviously, is a evolution of that, if you will.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I believe like when it comes to community engagement, when it comes to events, like something that we've learned over and over and over again is the feedback is often, when's the next one? Or can we try this? And I think it's just if you've ever been to any photo walk in any community group, the reason why people would actually come is just through genuine connection. And I believe that, when it comes to the Creator Summit, that's exactly what we want to establish is to create those opportunities for those genuine connections they would often find in the photo walks or that you often find in photography events that would take place in various cities as well. So we just thought, let's just get it all in one place and then make it one of the best days that we could, best day so far.
Now, a question for you. Last year's Sydney event was over 2 days, and this year's Melbourne event is over one. Is it a more condensed experience, or is it just basically you've learned a lot from last year's event and you've kind of fine-tuned it this time?
I believe it's fine-tuned, and because it was our very first Creator Summit, there was definitely a lot of learnings that we got from that. So I think like when it comes to the duration, like it's not a reflection of like, oh, we should have done it 1 day or 2 days, whatever it is. We just find that in this current stage of just the planning that we actually find that actually to tick all these boxes of just we want it to be impactful, we want it to be meaningful, we don't want it to feel like it's something that will just continue on for multiple days. We just found it for this period of time, like this was a sweet spot to tick all those boxes.
When I saw that change, I thought that was probably not that I got to go to last year's event, so not knowing anything about how it went, but just it's a positive one in terms of, maybe some people might not be able to go on that exact day. But in terms of getting everyone in the one space all at once, you're not guessing, oh, will the Saturday be better or will the Sunday be better? Or, it takes the decision out of it and you get, you're going to cross paths with everyone that's there. So if a friend is going as well, or, I actually thought it was probably a better plan just to be like, hey, let's all get there on the one day. And you don't have to think which one's going to be the better day to book your ticket for.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, we want it to be really clear, and I kind of feel like that's been the feedback that we've got too. Is like in terms of timetable, they're not comparing which day is better, because really both days are good. Just come to both. But in this case, we're glad that it's just a 1 day, and if you're able to come, please do come. I noticed John Pickett's comment that says, "Will there be workshops where we can take photos, or is it only presentations?" No, so there will be hands-on opportunities. So for example, the workshop that I'm doing, it'll be very hands-on. That we encourage every attendee to come and bring your own cameras. There will be some cameras Fujifilm cameras to test as well, but there will be a really great spread of just different experiences for you to take photos and videos as well.
Nice.
It sounds pretty cool. And so tickets are still available, obviously, because I can see it on the Fujifilm website. Is that the best place for people to find and to buy their tickets? Go to the House of Photography website, which I've dropped in the chat.
That's exactly it. Yep. So, if you go on that website, fujifilmhouseofphotography.com.au, it is literally $45 at the moment, and that's early bird, the pricing. I believe it's like March. I gotta double check the date. It's like late March. That's when the early bird would actually finish. So if you haven't got the early bird, it goes up about, I think, $10 or $15.
Yeah, it says here the 31st of March is when the early bird offering ends.
Yep. But yeah, so you can see right off the bat that for $45, you're getting a $250 value alpaca tote bag with a bunch of goodies inside, 20 plus sessions, 15 plus creators, and just really a great place to network with other creatives as well. So it's going to be such a good day.
A couple of quick questions, Charlie. Amenities, what will be available for people that want to make it a big day?
Yep. Oh, sorry, what do you mean?
Like food, drinks.
Yep. Oh, so there will be. Yeah, I need to double check on that. But I remember on the FAQ on the House of Photography website, food and drinks will be provided. Or sorry, not be provided. It'll be available on the day. Everyone gets free food. Nope. No, but yeah. So there will be opportunity to purchase food and drinks just at the location. I just can't recall if it's actually trucks or if it's just a one kind of location, a central location for folks to get food there too.
Yeah. And also just looking at the FAQ, it is mobility accessible. It's fully wheelchair accessible, which is great. And there's also advice there on how to get to the timber yard from Melbourne CBD. If you're coming into town for it and using public transport, there's some instructions there for you as well. But yeah, Charlie, just any hopes or wishes for the festival from you personally as both as a Fujifilm photographer? You've been a Fujifilm photographer for almost as long as me, I think. And obviously now you've been, it has been a while. You've been working for Fujifilm Australia for quite some time now. What's the biggest takeaway that you can hope for from the upcoming Creator Summit?
It's actually one of the hardest questions, Greg. I would probably say my biggest hope is for folks to fall in love with their cameras again. Like just generally fall in love with it. So you could really just want to go out, take photographs, take videos, and not look at it as a workhorse, not look at it as, like it's a bit intimidating, but we want it to be really liberating to feel like, great, now I actually understand how to use a camera a bit better. And I've learned it from all these experts. So then at that point, the next day you're like, okay, I cannot wait to go out and shoot. So I think for me, that's the biggest hope. And personally, that's how I'll probably measure the success is people willing to pick up their cameras and use it.
Yeah, I think that's, I love that too. I think that's beautiful. Well, look, on behalf of us all here, I can see in the chat that some people are commenting and someone's already booked a ticket. I think Lisa, yeah. Lisa Leach is hey, Lisa Leach is going to be there. So we get to catch up, which is great. But looking forward to seeing you again, either this Friday at the pop-up or when the Creator Summit rolls around, which won't be far away. Can we just have a reminder on the dates, please, of the summit?
Of the summit, it's on the 9th of May, which is a Saturday from 10 to 6 p.m.
Yep. Great.
Timber Yard, Port Melbourne.
Yeah.
Not Macquarie, Melbourne.
Not Macquarie.
Yeah, don't go to Port Macquarie.
No other ports, just Port Melbourne.
Just the local one. Well, look, Charlie, on behalf of us all here, thank you so much for dropping by tonight. I know that you've been super busy lately. I feel like we barely ever get to talk. But we wish you all the best for the event, and I'll definitely be there. I'm not sure about Justin yet. He takes a long time to make decisions. So
I might be overseas. If I'm in Australia, if I'm in the country, I'll be here. I'll be there.
Yeah.
It's okay. We could FaceTime and you could be there that way.
I'll just get Greg to walk around with a camera the entire time, live stream it to me.
Yeah, no
That's
it. But look, all the best for the pop-up and for the upcoming Creator Summit. And we look forward to catching up with you again, no doubt, in the near future.
Great. Thanks very much, Greg. Thank you, Justin, for having me on the podcast, and looking forward to connecting again soon.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, you be safe and take care.
All right. Thank you.
See you, Charlie. Thanks, mate.
All right. See you. Bye.
See ya.
Well, there you
Very
go,
cool.
folks. There you go.
Yeah. You'll love that place, Greg. You won't want to leave. You won't want the day to end. You'll just be running around dressed in green.
Yep.
Like it's Christmas.
Oh, I can wear my new Converse, my Fujifilm Converse.
Oh, yep.
Bust those out of the glass cabinet that I've put them in.
I think I've got a hat somewhere. I've got an X hat.
Oh, you've got one of those somewhere too. Actually, during COVID, was it during COVID? It was sort of towards the end of COVID. I went up to Sydney to meet up with a few of the peeps from Fujifilm Australia, and they even had Fujifilm X cloth, face masks for COVID.
One of those things that you're going to find one of those around the house in 30 years and be like, oh, remember that.
Yeah. Ugh. All right.
Yeah.
Well, shall we get into the show proper?
Yeah, I'll just quick double check that we didn't miss anything in the live chat while that was happening. Bruce says I need to go to the summit so I can talk to someone at Rode. Yes. I promise you guys, I'm not doing something wrong with this Rodecaster. I've done everything. I've updated the firmware. My phone's up to date. I've checked and reconnected, disconnected, inside out, upside down, and I can't get it to work. So maybe someone from Rode can help us.
Yeah, bring it in with you.
Who else?
If you come to the summit, bring it with you, and we'll slam it on the table and say, "What's going on?
What's going on?" And I bet you they'll be like, "Oh, you've got this setting wrong," and I'll be like, "Oh, okay, it was me. Sorry." Bruce Moyle says there's a new term, Fuji curious, which is what happens when your current squeeze or camera gets boring, and that
Nice.
I think that is a real thing. I think it's a brand that a lot of us start sort of turn to. Probably kind of like Leica as well, but Leica's so expensive. They're those two brands that, if you kind of get bored with your Canon, your Nikon, your Sony, your OM system or whatever, those other, the Leica and Fuji, they're the brands that everyone sort of looks over the fence at and is like, what do they got over there?
Yeah,
Maybe I need that.
Good, eh?
It's looking pretty good. Anyway.
Can't hurt to look, right?
It doesn't hurt to look. It doesn't hurt to
It costs
look.
nothing to have a squeeze.
It costs a lot when you end up buying one.
Yeah, well, not as bad as a Leica.
No, this is true. I think mine's so I just got mine back from the loan, and I'm going to have a bit more of a play with it. But it's very much its days are numbered. I think unless it really wows me in the next 3 weeks.
Hey, you should get an
out on its ear.
XE5 with a little compact Pancake 23 f2.8. I know a guy.
Yeah.
We'll set you up.
I would like to have a good long test with your XE5 and have a play around with it. But I don't need it.
It's not about need, Justin.
Okay.
It's about want. The world's on fire. Have you not looked at the news? This is what I told Nev Clark. This is how I convinced Nev Clark to get a Q3.
Life short, buy the Q3. We're almost out of fuel. Just get the Q3.
Yeah. Go get it before you can't afford to drive to pick it up.
That's a fair point.
I'm saving you money, really.
Yeah.
In the long run. So, Anyway, yeah, you need a Fuji camera. Another one.
Yep. There was questions about what about a Camera Life meetup at the summit?
I think Bruce asked about that.
And Lisa Leach, yeah. And Bruce said if there's a Camera Life meetup, I might look at flights, but no promises.
Hey, Bruce.
Good, Bruce. So yeah, look, if I'm there, we would absolutely do that. If Greg's there by himself, that's a lot of pressure to put on him. But he will absolutely do a meetup if he's there by himself with all of you guys, and
for sure.
And Lucky Straps can shout the coffees and the whatever else.
Oh.
Since I'm not there, as long as someone FaceTimes me.
Because these are recorded, we now have proof. He said plus whatever else.
Well, he can't. Not everyone can get an X100 if that's what you're thinking.
Okay.
Plus whatever else. You can all have X halves.
Don't. I think Charlie's still in the chat. You'd be good.
Hey, that's still good for them.
Oh yeah.
Pay for the
said
flight.
Lucky Straps are playing for the flight. Sorry.
Yeah.
There you go,
I don't
Bruce.
get that kind of cash.
I'll talk to Jim. He's got the spare credit card. I'm not allowed one yet. No. Wonder why.
Should we go to the news?
Let's talk about some news.
Yeah. Let me press my button.
I like how you can press your own buttons.
Yeah.
It's time for the news, folks. Again, a bit of a quiet week. There's still stuff to report, but I think everyone's still catching their breath from CP Plus, which was the Lenser-palooza, as I like to call it. So many lenses. So many lenses came out in the last couple of weeks. It's huge. And rumors of lenses and, first specs and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of action happening, which is great. Good for the industry, good for us. But there is some new stuff going on. But before we jump to the news proper, so we just look at a couple of quick social media posts.
Yeah. Do you want me to pull them up?
Yeah. Oh, look, there's a Fujifilm one at the top of the page.
God. Okay. Are they?
This is going to be
what are they doing?
known as the Fujifilm episode.
Are they putting you up at Crown or something during the Creator Summit? What's happening here?
Well, I've got to pay off that camera. Fujifilm Instax. I think it was Instax. Was it Philippines? Wasn't Australia.
Indonesia.
Indonesia. There you go.
Yeah. Fujifilm and Instax Indonesia.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they're teasing something big is coming. Some stories deserve more space. A bigger moment is coming. So yeah.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, I'm not sure if it's a new format, like a big square format, or if it's a another wide camera. It's a mystery at this stage. I don't have any inside knowledge, everyone. I only just saw this the other day. And look, let's face it. I mean, Fujifilm Instax have been knocking it out of the park. You know, they're as popular as ever.
What are these? These dots? What do you reckon that could be?
Well, they might be something really important, because remember how the last Instax they released was that little cine one with the decades for the film simulations.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
it's another...
Might be something like that.
Yeah, another user experience, set of filters or looks or something. But it's interesting that they have highlighted those 5 yellow dots. So we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, assuming this is real, which we would assume it is because it's on an official channel, that's a very intentional part that they've included in the teaser. It is very intentional.
So
what is that?
We'll wait and see what comes from that.
Interesting.
And I purposely held these until after Charlie left us, because I didn't think it would be fair to bombard our rumor insights.
No, we wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't do that unless there's rumors of an X Pro 4, in which case I probably would have thrown it out there just to see what he said.
Well, there were some rumors, but they've been dropping rumors for years.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what's next? If you're heading to Tokyo, I'm not, unfortunately. But Yodobashi Camera, which is a huge camera and electronics chain in Japan. I've spent many a good coin, often after being out drinking in Tokyo at Yodobashi Camera. But the chairman of Yodobashi Camera, Fujisawa-san, has opened his own museum.
That's cool.
How cool is
that's
that?
proof. That's proof of the love.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like Michael's at Michael's Cameras in Melbourne. Yeah, they did this. He did the same thing. He had all of his, all of that collection up. But yeah, this is pretty huge. Apparently, there's over 4,000 collectibles, valuable collectible camera items that he has personally collected. And
if this was in any other city, the security would be insane.
Yeah,
but in Japan, those cabinets are probably unlocked.
yeah.
And nothing will happen.
No, never does. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, and
this is where they filmed
about the Hasselblad.
This is where they filmed the moon landing.
I know. That's what I was going to say. We've just seen proof. But look, there's I assume it's a mock. From the moon landing, the Hasselblad camera.
Right. So this is either the same model, like somehow they've got there. So say Hasselblad made 3 of them and only one went up there. This could be one of those sort of same models, or it's a replica.
Yeah.
You'd think based on the way they've done this, it could actually be, it looks like it's legit, but just not the one that they left up there. Obviously, I don't know if
I don't think they went back to get it.
No.
But yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
What else is happening on the social
front? I don't know, but Nev says if he keeps buying cameras at this rate, he'll have his own museum as well.
I'll come visit. Yeah. Don't you worry. Jeff Bridges got his hands on one of the very first wide lux models. It's still got some tweaks in store, and it's still got a few few changes to go through, but it was very sweet to see Jeff and his wife, and I can't remember her name, unpacking and loading a roll of film into the new Wide Lux, which he has co-founded, and having this incredible camera brought back from the dead. He's been shooting with Wide Lux for a very long time. He's well known for on his movie sets, having his camera with him and taking photos of, cast, crew, locations, all that sort of stuff. And he just loves the wide format. So pretty cool. It's not quite ready.
It's still a ways. Yeah, I think it's still a ways to go. But the fact that they're sort of putting this content out of the process as it slowly comes to fruition, I guess shows how involved the process is, and they're certainly not rushing anything, which is cool.
Yeah,
but
they're doing it properly.
Yeah, well, you would imagine based on this, like this isn't going to be in anyone's hands for at least a year. I would be guessing anyone other than Jeff's hands.
Yeah,
but that's just a guess. I don't actually know what they're.
Look how excited he is.
I know. Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway,
that's still
amazing.
It is pretty cool. Quickly jumping back to Japan, I found this post of a photographer doing street photography in Japan with a 200-year-old large format camera. And I thought it was pretty funny, but very Japan.
Well, that's a big camera.
Yeah, it's
Light
200
meter.
years old.
Wow. How to get attention.
So cool. It's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Dennis is keen on the Wide Lux. Dennis, how much do you reckon it's going to sell for?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I reckon it's going to be hefty.
I think
But just based on, the amount of development that they've had to do to get it.
But also, like, mass producing them, I can't imagine they're going to do huge numbers to start.
Yeah. Ooh, 10K, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon
US. Oh. Nah, I
It's a
thought
new
it
house
might
in
be.
Australia.
Yeah, I could be way off. I thought it might be like 4 or 5 something, but I could be miles off. Maybe it'll be Leica prices. Nick's got $2,000 waiting for the Wide Lux.
Craig Murphy says it's $1 million.
1
Probably is at the moment.
1 million. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really tough one to predict. Whether they're going to go ultra premium. Nick, Feck, I don't have 5K. Yeah, well, it's I don't know. At 2,000, they would sell tons of them, I reckon, as long as it's not a toy, which I don't think it
Not
will
a 3D
be.
printed kind of product.
Not something that's going to have reliability issues and stuff. At 2,000, they'd sell a ton. Otherwise, you could almost see it going the other direction where they just charge 12 grand for it, and it is what it is, and only some people can afford it.
Yeah,
and none of us can.
Yeah. And finally, on the social media front, I found a little video of that new TT Artisan 203T folding instant film camera. We dropped a bit of news about that last week, I think, or the week before. And there's just a video showing an unboxing, and it just gives you a bit of an idea of scale. But I got to say, it's a good looking product.
It does look really nice. Oh, you gotta love that. Wham. Interesting.
So so that'll be fun to see when they come out and get into reviewers' hands.
Yeah.
But lots going on in the camera world.
There is. Well, what else is going on?
Well, we've got some proper news. That's enough with social media drama. Look, there's another bit of Fujifilm news at the top of this section. So
not pulling
Fujikina.
that.
You are?
No, I'm not pulling it up.
Fujikina has been announced for May 9 and 10. Typically, Fujikina has been the time when new cameras have been dropped and revealed, or at least teased.
Hold the phone. That's the date of the Creator Summit.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
You think there might be a bit of collaboration going on there between countries of?
I don't know. Let's get Charlie back on the phone.
So you think maybe there's something being, a new product, a new something?
Well, I mean, that Fujikina is often used for that sort of thing. It could just be an update. We have talked recently about how Fujifilm are currently running surveys to see what lenses photographers would like. So they're very big on community engagement at the moment, which is great. I mean, they always have been, I think, to a degree. But Fujikina May 9/10. Wait to see what's if there's anything to be revealed. As you mentioned earlier, Justin, everyone's sort of hanging out for an X Pro 4.
Yeah. Oh, that's the release that all the diehard Fuji people are waiting for. And even people like me that it could be tempted, you got a Leica or you got something else and you're like, I've kind of been waiting. I've never had an X Pro and I've always wanted one. And as much as the XE5 is basically an X Pro, the new one, I'm hoping it might step ahead in some other areas. It's a heftier body, which might be nice. It'd be cool to see.
Optical viewfinder as well as the hybrid EVF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
sure.
I think if it was an X Pro event, I mean, they might surprise us, but I think if it was an X Pro event, I think there'd be more buzz, considering there's been buzz about that camera for years, and there isn't really at the moment. So, I don't know. Yeah.
Interesting. We'll have to wait and see. What else have we got coming up in the news? Oh, the end of an era. The Canon 5D Mark IV has officially been discontinued. I thought that had already happened.
I thought it would have as well. The D850's already been discontinued. Yeah, maybe it was. It might have been because I think the D850 only got discontinued earlier this year. Yeah, so it might have been something like that where they were like, well, we're not discontinuing our core DSLR until Nikon discontinued their core DSLR. Maybe that's why, but I can't imagine they were selling many new. It was probably just stock anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, it's officially. So I assume officially discontinued means shops can no longer order them from Canon. That's that. Whatever. There might still be stock left in stores, but they're no longer a product line that a shop can order.
Yeah. Yeah. When we looked at the photos from Jeff Cable's trip to Milan for the Winter Olympics, weren't there 5Ds on the shelves there?
Well, maybe because there's still a camera that's supported by CPS. So they're going to have loan units. They're going to have tons of 1DXs, particularly like 1DX Mark IIIs, which was the flagship DSLR, like sports camera. Because, there's still lots of photographers using the EF lenses and things like that. And I'm sure it's becoming less and less, but you can't, you can't walk out on your pros because there could be a pro that's still using an older body and DSLR lenses at the Olympics for sure. So, yeah,
I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
All right. End of an era. What's up next? Next in the news, Adobe is to pay $150 million settlement in subscription cancellation lawsuit. So basically, Adobe got into trouble because they made it too difficult for people to cancel their subscriptions. And we've all come across sites and businesses like that where it's, they just make you jump through hoops. It's easy to subscribe. It's impossible to unsubscribe, especially once they've got your credit card details.
I had that issue the other day, with, I'm going to call them out. Not that anyone listening to this podcast probably uses them, but there's a company called, I think it's called Motion Array. It's video, sort of video templates and things like that for editing. And signed up to the monthly thing. Yeah, no problem. Didn't need it anymore. Went to, and there's like the plan, you go to billing, go to billing, and then you go to change plans, and then it's like change your plan because there's nothing about, cancelling. Going to change your plans only gives you options to go up in plan. And I'm like, And then I had to go down the page, and there was like a tiny just hyperlink that said about manage my plan way down this other plan. And it was the hardest I've had to find for ages. I was like, oof.
Yeah. And you're not tech dummy. You're tech savvy.
I've cancelled more subscriptions than I can count. So I'm pretty familiar with how it goes. It's most places most places seem to make it pretty straightforward. You might have to go like 2 steps through, but usually it's not that hard to find it. You go to the billing section, it's in, by law, it has to be in there somewhere.
Yeah. Bruce is echoing your thoughts. The ages.
Yeah, and Tweak uses it as well. Okay, so no, it's not no one listening. I forgot we have video peeps. And they don't remove you from the mailing list either, Bruce. All right, well, I'll look forward to that. I'll mark it as spam. That'll learn them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Try doing Amazon Prime. Yeah, Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah. Although, I think about like Apple. I'm so embedded in Apple. I couldn't even imagine
how to
turn all
navigate
those
it.
things off. Yeah.
Well, one thing Apple does do well, though, is at least it has subscription management for the stuff that you sign up through Apple in a sort of one place. That does make it nice to be able to go in there and be like, all right, there they all are. Get rid of everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot I had that, or that was supposed to be just for a month trial, or.
So who's getting this 150 mil?
So basically, the Department of Justice in the US, love them or hate them, they started this lawsuit back in 2024, mid-24, alleged that the company hid fees and made it excessively challenging for its customers to cancel subscriptions. So Adobe and the DOJ settled the lawsuit today, or recently, and Adobe will pay $75 million, I imagine, in fine. They'll pay the Department of Justice $75 and provide affected customers with $75 million worth of free services, which they need to sign up and get paid subscriptions for.
Right. So the government gets cash, but the actual affected subscribers get a credit.
Yeah.
That they have to be subscribed to use.
Probably.
Okay.
And then then it feels like a.
No.
I don't know what it feels like entrapment.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's a slap on the wrist, and I guess maybe that'll at least get them to stop, being so dodgy. But
will it though?
Probably not.
Nah. What else we got? Last bits of news. Oh, another camera, another iPhone/Samsung phone grip. Has appeared on the market. A Taliesin iPhone Samsung grip makes smartphones more like real cameras. It's a slick looking bit of kit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And I think it'll be at a price point that's, we've seen the Leica one. There's a few other ones as well. But this one is at a price point that's not a bit of a gamble. I think that Leica one was $400 or $500. Whereas this is a lot cheaper. Taliesin's a brand that does make cheaper things. I've actually got some Taliesin stuff that I used to do my POV videos, but that neck mount was that brand, Taliesin.
Oh yeah.
So they make little tripods and all sorts of little stuff. So this is a more, because it's got integrated tech in it, it's a little bit more advanced than the stuff I've had off them before, but it does look neat. I don't know. When I read this, it mainly mentioned the iPhone 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max and the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. So I'm like, is it just for those, or is it because it says such as? And I couldn't quite figure out whether it's only suitable or if they were just sort of highlighting those newer models, but it's backwards compatible.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Don't know.
Not sure yet. Early days, but it has a built-in battery. It includes a ND16 filter that you can slide over your lens array, depending on which camera, which iPhone or Samsung you've got.
But
it's got a built-in fill light.
Yeah, that was an optional thing. That fill light thing is like an optional flash accessory.
Grip flash, yeah.
Yeah, but because it magnets on to the front of it as an accessory, which is a clever way to do that flash. Yeah. But I do I'd love to play with it because look, it's got a dial. If you could just at least control like exposure compensation and half press shutter for focus and stuff, it might feel a lot more like shooting with a camera.
Yeah, or for
and a battery's pretty
for
handy.
video.
Yeah, yep.
Being able to zoom in and out without having to do this on the screen or touch the screen and shake it.
Yeah, so this is US pricing. but it's saying for the iPhone model, $90 or Creator Combo, which is the UV with the UV filter and the magnetic fill light is $120. So yeah, it should be pretty reasonably priced to have a play with, but we'll just have to see what phones it works with and whether it's, you know, what it's like getting it to Australia. But I like these ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because smartphones are incredibly good at photography.
Yeah.
And if you can elevate your game, make it your everyday camera, you know, for travel or what you do, you know, getting around town, it's great.
I think so.
It's very cool. I think so too. I think, you've got a bit of news yet to cover. What was your news of the week?
Well, mainly this one here. Anyone that's into drones might have seen that DJI teased. They put out this teaser, but it was the DJI always seem to do teasers. Some of them you have no idea what it's going to be, and you go to the rumor sites and you can kind of figure it out. But the little picture they put out, you can't tell. But this one, the teaser was super obvious, and also because Insta360 had released the first ever 360 drone not that long ago, the anti-gravity A1.
Yep.
This was always coming, and it's obviously probably come a lot faster because of that. So it's DJI's new Avata 360, and it sort of got teased, but at the same time it got teased, it seems like there's leaks, like intentional leaks all over YouTube and stuff of people actually using it.
Okay.
So it seems like they're trying to get the info out to market ASAP to stop people from buying the anti-gravity drone in the lead up to the launch. You know, they don't want to miss out on any possible sales. That's not really giving me much about it, but from what I can tell, it'll be competitive. DJI know how to do drones. They know how to do 360 cameras now. It'll be a thing. It's not really something I'm super interested in. I'd love to have a play with one, but they're not an amazing photography tool. They're a filmmaking tool, and 360 cameras have a lot of limitations with image quality. So it's more about where you can put that camera through like some pretty wild maneuvers and things like that. And I think that it's the flight experience itself that's quite special. And in Australia, I think it's still kind of illegal to fly with goggles on. So it'll be interesting because you have to have the goggles on to fly these 360 drones.
Yeah.
And in Australia, that's unless you've got the appropriate licenses, just for random punters, it's kind of illegal to have goggles on and fly a drone.
I didn't realise that. So those FPV drones.
Yeah, there are ways around it with flying clubs and things like that for the FPV stuff. But as Bruce Moyle has said here, if you were out like in public land, as far as I'm aware, I could be wrong, so check your local drone laws. But on public land, as far as I'm aware, you do need a spotter and a license if you want to fly with goggles on, and that's primarily comes from Australia's law around, or CAS's law around, you have to be able to have a line of sight to your drone, be able to see it. And as soon as you put goggles on, you cannot see your drone. Yeah. You're only seeing the video. So that's that's it. Exactly. Must be within line of sight. So,
thanks, Bruce.
But they do sell tons of them in Australia. So whoever's using them is, I don't know. Anyway, so that was a big one. The other one was Canon. There's rumors that we're going to see multiple PowerShot cameras coming this year. I hope we do, and I hope we see one really nice one. That'd be great. Something with a nice big sensor and a really nice lens and stuff, and then maybe another couple of cheaper options. That would be very cool. And I think that's about it.
Do you think that would entice you to pick up a compact?
If it's something like a Ricoh GR, but in Canon with maybe, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what's holding me back from the Ricoh GR yet. Maybe it's just the price. And I haven't shot with one.
Yeah.
But if it was something around that size and image quality, if they put an APS-C in something, I'd be very excited to try it. Yeah. I don't know exactly what features I'd be looking for, but the compact thing it's always something I'm keen on, especially if I do get rid of the Q3. Yeah. If I just ditch that completely, don't replace it with anything, there might be an opening for a small, like a high quality compact. But yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that is the end of the news. I don't think we had any other news to cover. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Quick day. Everything
That's
got
all right.
released. All the lenses got released. Yeah, I did see what Lauer released some probe lenses. Some pretty wild probe lenses. Did you see those?
Yeah, the new ones, the cine lenses.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty
Yeah.
crazy. And like ranging from 5 to 20 grand US, I think. With different angled head attachments and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you can put
Creative
like
stuff.
periscope heads on them and all sorts of things. Yeah,
Yeah, different
Yeah, they're very
angles
clever.
straight through. Yeah.
I remember
That's
testing the
interesting.
very first Lauer probe with Adam from Lauer, Australia, and we went out and shot bees. With
That's
it.
cool.
And so we were able to pass the probe like through leaves up to the bee. It was really cool. It was fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen a probe lens and thought I could do something cool with that. I just don't have any ideas for what I would do with it. But obviously for those applications, filmmaking applications, there's some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff with that, like passing through food and through little landscapes and
Dennis is saying, I love how progressive Lauer is. Pushing boundaries, we need more of that. Yeah, they do. They seem to just come at, at every angle of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very cool. And Bruce is a big fan of the probe lens. Should send you some photos. Yeah.
Oh, please do.
Yes. Yeah, we could put
Please
them in
do.
your images section of next week's show. Who else? Oh, Tweak Production says we just received a Ricoh GR in our store that we ordered back last August. Oof. Okay.
That's a hefty weight.
And Paul Henderson says Canon did have a G1X Mark III with an APS sensor. It'd be great if they updated that. Yeah, that's the sort of thing that would be very tempting. Put an APS-C in something, Canon. Make the lens sharp, compact. Let's do it.
Yeah. What would you pay for that?
Okay.
Like $2,000?
Ooh, yep. Yeah, $2,000. Just make it nice. Don't go too crazy on the lens. Could be fixed lens if they want. I'd be happy with a short zoom range, if they wanted to really make the most of the body tech, do two models, do a fixed and a zoom. Do like a fixed fast as possible while keeping it compact, because it can't be a big, you don't want it to look like a RX1R Mark III or something. You want it to be like a nice compact camera. And then, if they can, maybe do another model that has an equivalent of roughly a 24 to 70 on it, or 24 to 120 or something, and that can have a slower variable aperture, and that'd be amazing.
It'd be a good travel camera.
Yeah, and people can then pick, like, what's your priority? Do you want like a sort of a street photography, fast prime kind of X100 competitor, or do you want just a general travel camera, good for everybody, bit of zoom, family camera? Anyway.
Just a little thing that I saw the other day talking about interesting lenses. When I talked about how Fujifilm did these surveys to try and see what sort of lenses people want to see in their lineup. And one of the options, I can't remember the focal ranges, but it was a zoom, but you went from, like, let's say 23 to 50, but there was nothing in between. It was either 23 mil or 50 mil. So the zoom was kind of locked at each end without the need to travel in between. I thought that was a really interesting concept. I've never known of anything like that before.
I've always loved the idea of that, and obviously it's just not needed. I know Leica has a tri lens. It's got 3 focal lengths that it clicks between. And I've always thought if that somehow made the lens able to be more compact or sharper or something like that, I'd be totally fine with that. I think I'd enjoy the shooting experience more, and I'd be more than happy to just be like, let's say I'm happy here at 24, 28, 35, 50. Maybe it's 3 stop or 4 stop sort of lens thing.
Yeah.
And that'd be great. But obviously there's probably if there's no benefit to it, you might as well have those in between focal lengths. Yep. You know what I mean? Like if you could just slide through them and get every focal length, then why not? But I don't know. It's an interesting concept.
It is. It is very interesting. All right. Well, look, just very quickly, before we jump into our next segment, which we teased at the top of the show to talk about the future of photo editing with Photoshop. I just want to take a moment to remind everyone that the sponsor of today's episode of the Camera Life podcast, Random Photography Show, is, of course, Lucky Straps. Head to Lucky Straps. We make fine, premium leather, handcrafted here in Australia, leather camera straps to help you connect with your craft. We have straps in every possible shape, size, style, color, you name it, we've got it. Plus, you can actually personalize your straps with leather embossing as well as colored foil filled finishes. How's that for a sentence? But head to Lucky Straps today and use code Greg and get yourself a cheeky little discount. And you will, that strap will probably outlast you.
You can't buy this one. You can't buy this one. This was from the disco night at Beef Hop. But this is a one of a kind. But that is leather. How fancy. Yeah. Visit luckystraps.com. Use code Greg. I think Bruce said he was trying to book flights, but he put code Greg in and it wouldn't take it.
Yeah. I haven't quite worked out that affiliation with Virgin and Jetstar. You know, they keep knocking on my door, but I'm just busy. But let's head into the future of editing. All right. So what have you got cooking up tonight for us, Justin, in our special segment?
Look, there's been some news come out from Adobe, who have been in our podcast thoughts for the last couple of weeks because we've been cursing them because of how expensive they are and everything else and how we're stuck in their ecosystem because they do make good image editing tools. I'm not saying their tools are bad, but, you know, Lightroom is great. But so they've announced for Photoshop, AI Assistant is now available in public beta testing. It's designed to let you describe how you want your image changed to a chatbot and then either have the program carry the edits out for you or tell you how to do them. So essentially, with Photoshop, not Lightroom, but knowing how Photoshop has generally worked, this is a feature that will come to Lightroom if it is well received and works, because that's what happened with generative AI and all that sort of stuff as well. So if I can't see a world where this doesn't come to Lightroom unless it's just fully rejected by the user base. But essentially, you can throw an image in there and say, type into the chatbot, please make this more a landscape image with more contrast or a brighter foreground or a darker sky or warmer tones or whatever, and it'll try and do it. What do you think?
Crazy. Well, I think that there's some positives and some negatives. The positives for me are that it could be adapted into a really effective learning tool. So sometimes people don't go into fancy editing software because it's intimidating. They're not as computer savvy as you, for example. And for me, I don't use Photoshop. I find Photoshop intimidating. I much prefer the simpler workflow of Lightroom. That's just the way it is for me. But being able to say, hey, I really need to know how to do this. This is the image. Can you talk me through the steps that I need to follow to create layers and mask layers and all those sorts of things? From a learning perspective, I think that's an excellent idea. But from an editing perspective, I think it just leans into removing the artist from the image making too much.
You worried that people won't understand their tool. They might like the result, but if you don't know how you got to the result, are you really in control of your art? Yeah.
And, and I remember reading in this article, it was on DP Review, about, along the way you can say, oh, by the way, can you put this in the background or can you add, so there's generative AI elements to it as well.
It can control those things. So it takes it. It's not just for sort of photo editing or whatever. It can be photo enhancement, replacement, full digital art creation.
It's and I guess there's a lot to be said for a tool like this to help people, but I don't think it should come at the cost of creativity and genuine thought and exploration of a craft. I think this will just make it too easy for people to create substandard images and be fooled into thinking that they're great because they got their AI assistant to make them better. You know, there'll be no ownership of the end result, other than a fake. Oh, look at the image I took. You know, you'll get those people who claim that they created the image when in actual fact this AI bot did. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
do you
worry. I worry when you don't have, and we already see it a little bit in phones. We've seen it in phones a bit. When you don't have knowledge of what's happening in the edit, and as far as I know with this, it gives you the history. You can roll back, elements of what's happened in Photoshop in the history. But what I worry about is, what if it changes things without you knowing it's changing things at the pixel level? And we know that that phone cameras can do that. There was that Samsung moon thing where everyone was bragging about how good the photos of the moon were on their Samsung phone. It turns out it was just slapping a nice shot of a moon into the photos rather than, wasn't actually the moon you were taking. You know, remember that thing?
Yeah.
Like, what happens if we get to that where you're not sure, is this your photo or is this what it wants your photo to look like, with completely different information getting put in there at a pixel level?
Yeah.
That's what I worry about a little bit. But I mean, okay, there's some comments in the chat. Greg Carrick's got a comment. So look, but on the other hand, non-creatives can get better images. Who are we to deny that?
And I think a big part of that, Crackers, is it comes down to how Photoshop will label the images. You know, because at the moment, if you use an AI function in Lightroom, doesn't it change the metadata to say it was edited with AI? I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong. But, you know, as long as it's not, there has to be authenticity, some sort of authenticity process, you know, to say, well, this part of the image is real, but this part of the image, or this part of creating the image is not. You know, there needs to be some sort of clear way of knowing that this was actually created with an AI assistant, that it wasn't actually the photographer doing it or the editor.
Well, yeah, but what if you look at it the other way? Let's say it's just editing. So it's essentially a prompt for the sliders anyway. So does it matter whether you prompt, you know, okay, so if we looked at it, let's take it all the way back, and AI is not, you know, doesn't have the controls, and we just type in, can you increase the white balance by 500 kelvins? Can you increase the contrast by 10? You know, so that would be the absolute, probably the slowest, most boring way of using this particular tool. But would that be any different than just moving the sliders with your mouse?
As long as that was all it was doing. But if there was a whole bunch of behind the scenes shenanigans going on that was at the same time enhancing or altering or modifying or doing other stuff, then that would be different, yeah.
That is the line that I worry about, is when it sort of takes it to, you know, for example, someone mentioned the auto button, you know, like Lightroom auto mode. And it's like, yeah, what happens when you press the auto button in Lightroom and it is actually changing the image from what was originally taken, removing stuff, cleaning things up, changing the composition, and just being like, that's what AI thinks this sunset should have looked like, because it would have been better. That's the worry.
Yeah.
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 It's kind of like when you do silly things and you go into Google Nano Banana and you say, make this photo look epic. And then you're like, no,
only
more
you do
epic.
That. You're the only one that
more,
does that. Don't
more
say,
epic.
Don't rope me into your silly gang.
Yeah, I don't know. It's It's interesting.
A couple of good comments here.
Yeah, which ones? There's a lot.
Greg Carrick said, plain Photoshop is too difficult for non-creatives. So they would like AI. Well, artists won't use it. Yeah, that's a very real
in which case, though,
outcome.
I don't think it's going to be Photoshop that they use. With the world, I think the world has skipped on from that in terms of non-creatives. Photoshop's already lost that race. They're going to use Google Nano Banana, ChatGPT, or like people are saying, built-in tools that are built into social media. They'll be using Meta AI or TikTok AI or whatever. Like non-creatives are going to use
or another app
more.
altogether. That's an editing app,
Yes.
but it's all AI driven. Like Apogee.
That's right. But they're not going to be paying an Adobe subscription to get into Photoshop and say, dear Photoshop, please add a unicorn into my family photo because it'll be fun. You know what I mean? Like that just won't that won't happen in this tool. So it's not that we don't want people to be able to do that, because they can already do that in a ton of AI things. That horse is bolted. It's sort of more like, do we want to be describing? So what if you put in, what if an artist put their artist statement in and then let Photoshop interpret it on that image as to what that means within the context of Photoshop's tools? Do you think it'd be that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think it could do that?
I mean, down the track it could, for sure. I don't think it could now. I don't know.
I don't know. What else is being said? Rick Nelson says, I wonder how consistent it will be. That'll be good. That's a good question, because right now, you can get different responses from AI from the same question, Yeah. So would it do a different edit on a different day, given even, you gave it the same prompt?
Yeah. Yep. Or will it, what's that software? I remember I was asked to do a review and I declined, but it was about this software that you feed in like 5,000 of your images and it learns how you shoot and edit. And then it takes those learnings to apply to future edits. It could be like that, where it's a learning, like it learns off you first.
The difference with that, though, is it learnt off your previous edits, where it's to start with, it's how well you can communicate what you want via a text prompt, which is yeah,
that's true. They did give a couple of examples in the article, one that worked, one that didn't. So, I mean, it's a beta. It's there to test. So
that's
you
true.
Can't expect it to be working properly straight away, and it will obviously build on it. I don't know how I feel about it. I get what you're saying about how, well, if it's just speech to action. So, hey, Photoshop, can you raise contrast, like you said, or drop highlights, or can you put it in this particular curve, or whatever it may be, then that's different, because then it becomes almost like an accessibility tool that you can just speak what you want it to do and it will do it for you. But when it starts making decisions for itself on how your image should look, well, then that's kind of different.
Exactly. And I think, so up here, Bruce mentioned, Bruce says, I use a lot of the math functions in Photoshop. If they remove them because people now only use AI, then I'll be so angry. Maybe that won't happen now, but they will dumb it down over time. And that's definitely possible. But what's interesting is this chatbot might be able to teach people how to use some of the functions that you're using, because that is one of the elements that they're saying. And it might be just them sort of saying, well, rather than people having to go off to ChatGPT and type in, how do I do these edits in Photoshop? I'm trying to do this complicated thing, and then get the steps. You can do it within Photoshop and not have to leave the program. And if it's sort of based around that, where it's like, hey, we can either do it for you or we can tell you the steps to do it yourself, that seems like a logical progression. But if it goes to the next step where they start getting rid of stuff because they're like, everyone just says, hey, Photoshop, please make this photo awesome, then obviously then it's going to become a different tool altogether.
Yeah.
Nick Fletcher says, this will be like early 2000s HDR, high dynamic range. We will all come to regret our AI enhanced images.
Maybe.
But at the time, they were awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very interesting, and I think Photoshop is obviously very well used, but when it comes to Lightroom, it would be very interesting to see, because Photoshop has a lot of more complex things where it makes sense to be like, all right, I need something to help me with this complex task.
Yeah.
But what would you do in Lightroom with a text prompt other than try and, I don't know, speed up your workflow or fix images that weren't that good to start with?
Well, I mean, some of the AI-based workflow software options will, they do auto culling and those sorts of things. You can get it to get rid of the images where people have their eyes closed, get rid of the images where, whatever. There's bin chickens in the background. It doesn't matter. Those software, but I'm pretty sure they have plugins into Lightroom, so you can kind of run this process first, then put the final results into Lightroom to do your edits. In which case, it then just becomes very similar to Photoshop. You can tell it. I don't see why they would stop at Photoshop.
Yeah. And Dennis comes at it from a very good point of view as well, which is which I do take the same kind of opinion with a lot of this stuff. He said, it's fascinating how non-pros think we use these tools. When I'm in a 14-hour day of editing, there are AI tools that will save me time. That's the reality. And that's the thing too. It's like, don't, you can be dogmatic about not using this stuff for whatever reasons you want, but to deny using it when it could save you a ton of time and you can still achieve the result that you want to achieve, might be something that's sort of like a futile attempt to hold out. I'm only going to use a typewriter. I'm not going to use these stupid computers kind of thing. And that can work for an artist for sure. But, on the other hand, you might be able to save a lot of time and even get better results by embracing the tech as it moves forward. He also said back here, I used AI to create a 10-minute video sequence for a video today from scratch, lamb cutlet on barbecue. 6 months ago, I would have been a hard no that I would use it that way. Oh, 10-second, not 10 minutes. Sorry. Okay, so you've turned the corner, then. You've gone from hard no generating AI or whatever, but for this purpose, to get your 10-second clip, it was useful and worthwhile. Bruce is all for efficiency. I use machine learning tools to do lots of things, but I don't generate creative things, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
We even use AI for some of the stuff with this podcast. But we have a pretty sort of firm direction that it's not AI's not creating the content.
No.
It's not, it's not going to be an AI. It's never going to be an AI podcast. No. It's never going to have an AI host or anything like that. But if you use AI to summarize the episode for the show notes or whatever, and it saves hours of work, or to put timestamps in, which it gets wrong almost every week, despite it being a very simple task, then it's all about figuring out what works for you and where your lines are, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. But I think this is a sign of more to come.
I think so. I think it'll be Lightroom within 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. I could be very wrong.
All right.
Anything else on that?
No, I don't like it. Let's just move on.
You don't like it. So, okay. Well, let's finish on that. So ideally you would be like, don't put that in there. Focus on your tools. Stop worrying about this stuff.
Yeah. Or maybe bring your subscription down, make it actually accessible to people.
Yeah.
So I know they offer the mobile version, that's still free, isn't it?
I don't know, because I've got the photographer's package, so I'm not sure whether it's.
I can't remember, but I don't know. Yeah, is that really what people are crying out for, or would people like a break in cost of living crisis times to not have to have their Adobe subscription almost double year on year? I know which I'd vote for.
I know, but that doesn't help them make more money.
Oh, heaven forbid.
Heaven forbid.
The company with the global monopoly might not make as many billions this year. Oh, you're getting me angry, Justin.
Oh, it's what we like.
I know.
Bit of angry Greg for the podcast.
Bit
Clip
of
it.
rage. But no, I look, it is a sign of things to come. Whether you like it or not, it is just another tool. You do have a choice. My concern is that people won't know that there's other ways to do it, and they will lose a skill set potentially. You know, we'll be showing up at the Lost Trades Fair in Bendigo every year to show people how we used to use Lightroom.
The Lost Trades Fair, and you're on like a 27-inch iMac just editing on Photoshop, and they're like, "Oh, what's he doing there?
Yeah,
oh, look, he's using a mouse. That's crazy! Wow." Everyone's just wheeling themselves around because they don't use their limbs anymore because everything's voice prompted.
It's like that. What's that show, Wall-E, where they're all just in those floating chairs because no one has any muscle left.
No, I like Greg Carrick in a leather apron. So you've got all like old timey stuff on, but you're using an iMac. They're like, oh look, he's a genuine old photographer.
Oh yeah.
Back
my
then,
glasses will be on a little gold chain around my neck.
Back then they had to manually move the pixels around by hand. It was crazy. These people worked hard day in and day out. That's why he's wearing the leather apron. It could happen.
Yeah, you never know. Stranger things have happened.
That's right. I just realised I'm missing one of the Your Images because it's I guess it's Your Images time, isn't it?
It is Your Images time.
Yeah.
You're going to do there it is.
I did it. Yeah, it's that time. Let me just whack one in. So Greg and I have been talking about the Your Images, and I want everyone's opinion. We're thinking, tossing around ideas about maybe making the Your Images section. Also, if you're new to the show, this is the Your Images section where we look at your photos. You can send them in. We'll talk about that in a minute. We're thinking about making it one image per person so that we have more time to dig into that one image, unless it's some sort of series or sequence. And we might be able to fit in one or two series or sequences of multiple images a week if there's some sort of cohesive set or something like that. Yeah. So what do you guys think?
Yeah. The thinking behind it, folks, is that this is our favorite part of the week. We get to be inspired and motivated and delighted by the images that you send us. And we get to share them with everyone else, which is pure magic. But it's as we grow as a channel and we get more and more folks shooting through images, the show is just going to get longer and longer. And, you know, I'm up for that, but Justin has an early bedtime. So we were thinking maybe we should limit it a little bit, just so we can spend a good amount of time on each individual image. But as Justin said, we would make exceptions if there was, you know, you were doing a photo essay and you wanted to talk about the series of 10 or 12 images you put together for that essay. Then we would put that into a week where maybe we don't have as many photos. Anyway, that was kind of our thinking. We love this part of the show. We love the stories behind it. So if you are sending in images, always continue to include a story, you know, your camera settings and what your experience was like when you took that shot. Yeah, we might look at trimming it down a little.
Yeah, I think it's just David Skinner says one image, maybe two. Every now and then. And so that would be the thing. I definitely would like to be, if you have, say, two versions of an image, say you shot, or, you know, two different ones and you're like, I'm not sure which one I should have picked for this or whatever, or two different crops, or you edited one in color or one in black and white or whatever. We'd love to see those and talk about the differences and which one we like or whatever. So that would still be great. But more around around one main thing, and then obviously a series is always a good thing if you've been working on a series of work. But yeah, that's what we're thinking. Nick says definitely one image, unless you send a GFX 100 RF to Greg, then you can submit 10.
I wouldn't say no.
I wouldn't say no either. And then Bruce Moyle says, keep the behind the scenes photos if they exist. Anything like that would be amazing.
Yep.
You know, anything that kind of adds to the story around that one image, or if it's a question that you've got, I reckon that would be great. But that's what we're thinking of doing. So let us know.
Yeah, let
Pretty
us know.
keen.
Drop a comment either on the live if you're watching with us now, and please don't forget to give us a like. It certainly helps us out a lot. Or if you're watching this later on YouTube, then drop a comment and let us know what you're thinking, and we always check those out. So yeah. But let's get on to your images. Oh, sorry.
Before we do that, if we're new to the channel, if you're new to the channel now, like Ish and Adventist 8522. Sorry, I can't pronounce that. If you're new, either now or later on, and you want to be part of the Your Images section, just email your image to justin@luckystraps.com.au. Include a little bit about it, your camera settings or whatever, and especially if there's something that you're like unsure about in the image, the crop or something like that, let us know. We'd love to bring it up and chat about it on the show.
Yeah.
And subscribe too. That'd be great.
Oh,
okay. First image of tonight is from LTK Photo. And LTK says, yeah, I know, I really like this one. First drift event of the year, working on slower shutter speeds, 1/30th handheld. And yeah, it's cool because the front of the car is in focus, and then even the back of the car is blurring because of the motion. And then obviously everything else is blurring. I actually really like the change in like from red through to blue in the one frame.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very cool. And it's just such a great angle too. You know, you've got that front right wheel that's really sharp and that's facing us. But the rest of the car's not. That's really cool.
Yeah. New camera. What new camera? Which one was it? Do we know about this already? I can't remember.
Let us know.
Very cool. But yeah, great shot. Great way to start the show. And then up next, one and only, I did tonight in just a strange order, and I really like it. Up next, the one and only Dennis Smith. And these images, I'm going to read it out. All right. So he says, Duality was a body of work, 4,500 images in total, created in the aftermath of my social media being hacked and deleted. They explore the sharp, in-focus persona we create on social media and the hazy, out-of-focus reality our lives often are. Created as single exposures, 13 of them were printed and shown large, 2,200 millimeters or 2.2 meters on the long edge. For the month of the exhibition, I did weekly live performances creating new works. There is a long-form exhibition walkthrough video here showing the behind the scenes and the process. And that link I'll put into the show notes later, but it's at dennissmith.com.au/duality. I only got to watch about the first 5 minutes of the video. I'm going to watch more later because it's about 30 minutes long. And Den just goes into it's while he's still in the exhibition space, while it's still set up, which is, it looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, I'll go through the other ones in this now. But these are just so striking.
Yeah.
Yeah, just beautiful. And this one's beautiful and a little bit scary.
Yeah.
For me. Be so cool to see that getting made. And then there's an image here that is included of the exhibition. But yeah, I definitely recommend. The huge prints.
Oh, wow.
Recommend going to the website because the images are on there and that video is there. I'll put it in the.
Yep. Dan, were those prints backlit or are they just punchy and poppy like that? Because they look amazing.
Yeah, crazy.
Yep.
And everyone's like, Everyone's pretty pumped on these.
Yeah.
But particularly loved just how, I don't know, the theme orange, most of them had that really sort of strong orange, red, yellow. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something other dimensional about it.
There really is.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dennis. Thanks for sending
Great
those
work,
through.
Dan.
And yeah,
Thank you for
I'm
sharing
really,
that.
really excited to watch the full video. I didn't actually know that video was out and about. I don't know how I missed it. So,
And in answer to my question, I asked whether they were backlit. No, you're right.
where is that? There we go.
I'll do it. Whether the images were backlit, and he said no, we used the incredible old stage lights, and they were incredible. Very cool. Nice.
Yeah, awesome. Okay.
Who's up next?
Who is up next is John Hall.
I can read this one.
John
if you like.
says, yeah, do it.
All right, John Hall. John says, really enjoying your image segment and thought it was about time I had a go myself. Well, we're glad you did. Everyone should have a go. If you've been sitting in the sidelines admiring everyone else's images, you know that this is a safe space to do so. So make sure you send in some of yours too. John has said, these ones are unusual for me, but after watching your interview with Craig Wetchen and hearing about his walks for wellbeing, we were inspired to try our own. I think this is beautiful. We went out last weekend to take a few photos around Sydney, and this is something I've never done before, despite having lived here all my life. These were all taken on my Z6 Mark III. That's the new one, yeah?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, great little
40,
camera.
Yeah, 40mm f2. I've also been playing with film emulation lately and have used the RNI codec 200 profile on the color shots. Very nostalgic look for me, as it was the most common film I used back in the 80s and 90s. Funny how the sharper, cleaner and better colored the images get, the more I want softer, grainier images with crap color. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, the well-being walk was a great boost for mental health. Looking forward to trying one with Craig when we move to Victoria later in the year. All the best, John Hall. That's a beautiful story. I love it.
Yeah, that is awesome. Thanks for sending some photos in too for the first time. I really like this black and white one. I think I like the way that the strong foreground lines are kind of dissecting the subject.
Yeah.
And then the big black.
And there's so much negative space.
Yeah, big black negative space. It would be interesting. I think the what's that thing called over on the right hand side? The screen or whatever it is, like the advertisement offsets it really interestingly. But I'd also be interested to see if that was all black, what would that look like? There'd be a ton of negative space, and I don't know whether it would have not enough balance or if it would look really kind of ominous.
Yeah.
No.
Well, if you put it into Photoshop and you ask the AI assistant.
That's right. You could just be gone, just change it. You could put a train in there, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Put the Hogwarts Express in there, Thomas the Tank Engine, anything.
But John, these are great. And what a magical way to take an idea created by someone else and to make it your own and get something out of it. I think that's really great. Really happy.
Yeah. I only just saw the seagull in this one too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
See that on the right there? Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
I missed that the first time through. Yeah, great work.
Yeah.
Inspiring. Up next.
Crackers.
Yeah.
Greg Carrick.
He says, in honor of the more famous Greg C., which I guess is you.
I guess.
Here's one of my takes on a local skate park from back in 2018. The title is Ollie. I wanted to be able to use this and other photos in our town without people getting their knickers in a twist about taking photos of kids, hence the strange cropping. I think it's good cropping.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, however, I really like the effect. Gear was a Nikon DSLR. I guess it's pre-Fuji days. 18 to 270 zoom at 270. Wow. 1/2000th of a second, f7.1, ISO 400, and then black and white in post-production.
Yeah.
That's about the last shot you took with Nikon before Fuji. Yeah, I think crops like this can often work really well. Removing
I think so too.
a face from because you're often, we're usually drawn to faces, especially if it's the only face in the image. And taking that away, it allows people to wonder who this is. It's even hard to kind of tell what age they are. You know, is it a 13-year-old or a 23-year-old? It's kind of not immediately, you know. So it leaves more up to the imagination. So yeah, I dig it.
I love it. Yeah, beautiful work.
Yeah.
Next up, we have David Mascaro.
We do.
These are mostly digital, and maybe one or two with a Fuji X100. A Fuji 100F. From a man just sharing his life story to a guy who was evicted and a cop who was hurt while chasing a bad guy, he said. Then a man from Somalia that was proud of being in America, and another guy trying to explain his pain to me. The last one is the main reason I really don't do this type of photography anymore. It's just too damn depressing. Have a great show. I'm actually heading to the city now to photograph something more pleasant.
Yeah, powerful photography could. I could certainly see how it could take it out of you.
Yeah.
But
wow,
there's stories that, you know, maybe who else would tell them. Beautiful shots, David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful.
Really, really cool. Nothing to say because
No notes.
no notes. No notes.
And
I
even
especially
Dennis
like that
says,
one.
Always a treat seeing these
Yeah.
portraits. It is.
Yeah, it really is.
Beautiful work.
Yeah, this one with a guitar is just, it's staring into my soul.
Yep.
Okay, Paul Carpenter.
Mm.
Hang on, that didn't work. Where is my... Paul says, managed to get a sharp shot. Hang on, I've lost you guys. Just got to bring you back up on my screen. There we go. Managed to get a sharp panning shot of this ex-Air Force PC-9A last October with a shutter speed of 1/200th of a second at 400mm ISO 100 f/16. The clouds are sufficiently blurry to imply movement, but what stood out for me with this one was the specular highlights on the airframe. It might just be a lucky combination of glossy paint and sun position. It's also up on the Camera Life Flickr page. I haven't seen it on there yet. We've been, first of all, talk about this photo. Yeah. That the motion in this is, it looks like the clouds are, it looks like it's moving fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything's working to make it look, it looks like a still from a movie.
Yeah, but it was only shot at, what do you say, 1/200th?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Zoom in. Let's enhance.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
How sharp that is.
Can see the exhaust, I think. I think that's the exhaust. Yeah, that is a great photo. I think the clouds really make it. If it was a clear blue sky, the plane would look striking, but it wouldn't look as cinematic, I don't think. It wouldn't have as much depth in the image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dennis says it looks perfect on Flickr. So we've been playing around with Flickr. You're on there now, Greg?
Yeah, I'm on there somewhere.
You're on there somewhere?
I haven't looked at it again since we spoke last.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. I uploaded some photos. Maybe I'll bring one of mine up that's on there during the Your Images section just to see what it looks like. We're wondering how it can fit in with the show a little bit, whether people can share images on there or not. We're not sure. Still playing around with it. But, you know, the image quality is good. It's fairly easy to navigate. It's hard to zoom in on images is what I've found because you have to go to a different size of the file and bring up a different size. Like you have to, it's hard to explain. But other than that, so anyway, if you are on Flickr, there's a Camera Life podcast group that you can join. I think we don't actually have control of it. I think Dennis has control of it, or Craig. Someone's got the admin. But get in there and have a play around, and we'll see if it becomes something. Okay, up next,
Kyle Atwood.
Kyle Atwood.
G'day, Kyle. I thought I'd send through a couple of the old motorsport shots this week, being that we mentioned them last week. They were all shot with Fujifilm X-H2S and the 50-140, which is a 2.8 constant aperture. Yeah, and he's got some camera settings there.
Yeah, and I think I can see the file names here. So this is number 1. So this was at an 80th of a second f8 ISO 160 at 50 mil. And then, no, it wasn't. It was 1/25th of a second x6.4 ISO 160 at about 60 mil. Oh gosh. And then number 2 was this one, which is an 80th of a second, which, yeah, a little bit less blur, a little bit further away. F8 ISO 160, 50 mil. And then the first one that we brought up is 1/40th of a second. F18 ISO 160 at 113 mil.
Wow.
I really like this
Love
one.
it. Yeah.
This
Yeah,
one,
there's something
with the
about
red and the
Yeah.
bollard, and there's just plenty of movement and
There's so
and
much.
a bit of tilt. Yeah. Great work. Thanks for sending in images 2 weeks in a row too, Kyle. It's good to have you part of the show. And you're a Fujifilm shooter, so you're an automatic winner in Greg's book.
That's right.
Okay. David Skinner.
David Skinner's up next. So David said, I thought I'd put up 4 shots from the BFOP Big Bad Bus Trip 2024 and 25 to show the different conditions and approach. In the 2024, I used the Sony A9 II and killed it the next night with a sledgehammer.
Yeah. Remember that? Remember when
I do.
they accidentally got him to smash his camera with a sledgehammer at BFOP? It was an accident. But yeah, it happened. Now, that's what I just want to highlight. That camera took this photo.
Yep.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It took this photo, and then I'll stop, and it also took this photo, and then the next. If you want to keep going, Greg, the next 4, are, I think, yeah.
So the 2025 BFOP last year using the Nikon Z7 Mark II, which love it in brackets. This year, if there is a big Big Bad Bus Trip, I'm sure the conditions will be different again. Can't wait in the meantime. Jeff Freestone has taken me to Hotham and dinner plane in June, which will be an epic day. All handheld. Didn't take a tripod with me.
Yeah, Jeff Freestone, that'll be fun. Hotham and dinner plane. Oh, look at that. But yeah, you can just see like the conditions, the landscape. It just,
So
every day's so different.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's almost as much as that new camera is amazing, that Z7 II that you've got. It almost shows just how much being out there and trying to get the image trumps the camera itself is what I'm trying to get out.
Yeah.
Because that's a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Amazing.
Andrew Connor. Where are we?
Connor.
I don't know if these are in the order that he mentions. So maybe we won't worry too much about that. But he says, after getting Samantha Olsen's book, which is, do you remember what that's called? But it's basically the photographer's guide to the Great Ocean Road
Great
or
Ocean
something
Road.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be able to find it if you search Samantha Olsen Great Ocean Road book.
She's in Japan at the moment.
I know. I see her photos, and then I see your comments on her photos.
Yeah.
It's like she's
living
teasing
vicariously. Yeah.
you. Yeah. Andrew Connor says, after getting Samantha Olsen's book, I was inspired to spend Labor Day weekend down this magnificent part of our coastline. We only had 2 days to explore, and you seriously need 2 weeks to see it all. but ticked a couple of the more well-known spots. Apostles and Gibson Steps, London Bridge and Port Campbell coastline areas. Cliche shots of cliche places, but everywhere you go, the landscape is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow,
it's
look at
it's so kind of ominously stormy, but beautiful.
that. Yeah.
Oh, I like that framing.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey.
I'll see if there's any. Yeah, it's listed out a few sort of image as to where it was and things like that, but it doesn't seem like they're in order of what the file names are, so I won't bother reading them out. I'll just end up getting confused. Gosh, look at the
that
scale.
line. Yeah,
Yeah.
that line though. I see they're going to charge people to look at rocks now.
Are they?
Yeah, they're going
Any
to
rocks?
No,
or
there's
just
12
these
apostles.
ones?
They're looking at making it that you've got to pay.
How would they do that? Oh, because you got to pay to go down to that
Maybe.
that lookout area.
Yeah.
How would they know if you saw them? You know what I mean? Like how they?
Yeah, I know exactly what
Is-
you mean.
Is it on a is it on a
not
per
normal. No,
per
I don't think it's
look
on a per
or-
glance. Like
or
could you give
timed
it
thing?
what about a glance? Is that like a concession price? Just to have a glance
Yeah.
at them? Or to have a
Like
good
this?
deep stare?
One
Yeah.
eye?
Or a quick peekaboo?
Yeah.
You know,
The-
for kids?
someone from like the place that runs it walks with you like this and they're like, so you've just paid for a that's it.
There it is.
That's all you
That's it.
get. Off
Get
your
back to the car park.
Yeah, back to the car park.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Great shots.
enough of that. We'll have a quick flick back through all these, but yeah, some of the
I like that one. The two rocks.
yeah, I think that is definitely. Oh, hang on, this one or this one?
That one.
That one, yeah.
Something about that
I really
one just-
liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, this and where are we? And this was very nice. Some of the comments were saying, Craig Murphy says, "Oh, nice! I'm heading there next week for a road trip. Well, that'll be fun." David Skinner says, "Wow, that wave shot," and I assume by that you mean this one
Yeah,
or
that's
these
crazy.
poor guys. But yeah, I think you mean this one. Well, Craig, we want to see photos.
Yeah.
Lisa Leach says they have similar permits in WA and the car parks have rego recognition. Ooh, okay. It does. Yes, you can see both sides of that. It's really tricky, but you can see both sides of it where it's like, obviously they want to manage these places and do all that and blah, blah, blah. And then the other tricky part is like, yeah, at what point are you charging people for just seeing what the country has to offer? And, you know, they're not getting some sort of special experience or whatever that needs to be ran. It's just like, hey, I want to walk over there and look at the coast. Yeah. They're like, no, sorry, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a big issue to tackle.
Like you, I get it. I just don't think it's. It
doesn't feel right.
Doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel morally right.
Yeah.
You know, to throw a fence up and a paywall to look at nature. Like I get it in some places, national parks and things like that. Maybe that's a bit different. I don't know. It's all a bit messy. And it just gets me into a bigger rant about, you know, we're happy to pay for tanks and submarines to start a war in another country, but we can't afford to allow visitors to look at our rocks.
I mean, it'd be nice to be able to, if you could get a view from a ship to the rocks. Maybe
Or
we
from
can
a
go out on
submarine.
those. From the submarine with the periscope.
You look at them from underneath.
From
One down the window.
Now, I'm sure it's far from a perfect system, but from a visitor's point of view, I did enjoy and this isn't how this would work, obviously, but the national parks pass that they had in the US, where we bought a 1-year national parks pass, and it worked out quite reasonable. And you can enter any national park on that pass, and it's almost just a way of, and I think because of that, a lot of people would take it up because it felt almost like how people get an ambulance membership in Australia, where it's like everyone, it's kind of reasonably priced, and everyone kind of goes, well, if we all do this, it sort of pays for this thing. And so if you can afford it, you do it. And even if you went a couple of days of a year, it was sort of reasonable. So I don't know if they could figure out how to do that across states rather than it being so state-based, because then it didn't feel like you were having to pay in all these different spots. It was just like, yep, you're done now. But the thing in the US that makes it not perfect is that then there's national parks, but then there's also smaller parks that aren't managed that way, and so they've got a different fee system. So it wasn't like every park, but all of their major ones like Yosemite and where else did we go? All the ones you've seen photos on and movies and all that sort of stuff were all covered under this one pass that you just get, and then it's done for the year.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
anyway, so maybe something like that could work in the future, but yeah. Apparently that got increased by 200 or 300% for foreigners. Wow, that's lucky for us. We just snuck in before we snuck in. Okay, so maybe scratch that. Maybe it's not reasonable anymore, but it used to be. Okay. Up next we have
Phil Thompson. Lucky last.
Yeah, I think so. I'll go back through just to make sure I haven't missed anyone.
All right, let me read this out.
Yep.
For something very different to my landscape and weather shots, please attach some shots from Leicester. Is that how I pronounce it? Leicester Opera's current production of Orpheus and Eurydice. I had the absolute pleasure of not only capturing these emotional moments amongst many others during dress rehearsal, but also listening to the beautiful music and singing of the opera. FYI, the Hadestown musical is based on Orpheus and Eurydice. I don't know what that is. Hadestown? Have you ever heard of that?
No, I don't know.
Settings, all at 6400 ISO, shutters between 140 and 1/100th, and between f6.3 to f9. Very cool.
Well done getting
work.
well done getting such sharp, like at some of those shutter speeds, and obviously not right up on the subjects, being able to hold them sharp. It's impressive. What's he say? The camera was my Pentax K1 Mark II, and the lens was the Pentax 70-200.
Nice. Old school.
Yeah. Old school. But yeah, look, the motion in this and having the facial expression in there, that's great.
Yeah. They're really cool. Well done.
Yeah, great work.
Bit of a jack of all trades, our Phil.
Yeah. And look at the facial expressions and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done a good job of capturing this for them. They must be stoked with that work.
Yeah, that'd be
Cool.
a fun job, hey.
Well, depending on
Very
what if you like it, the particular show or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like
more
the
of
show.
a Disney on Ice kind of guy, but
Never been to Disney on Ice. I don't think I've been to anything on ice.
No, I don't think I have either.
No, it's not on my list. Okay. Well, we did it.
Well, we did do it, and we're only 25 minutes over.
Yay!
And
Sub
we
2
even had someone
hours.
on. We had Charlie on talking about Fujifilm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather the show was just all that, but we've got to do other things apparently.
That's why I made sure I was on tonight. I was like, otherwise, this will be just Greg doing a Fujifilm ad.
So when you go
hours.
away, everything will be bathed in green. Green everywhere. Well, you go.
I was just going to say, there were some good comments about Phil's photos, but there's great comments from everyone about everybody's photos. So we appreciate it. We appreciate you guys getting the comments flowing when we're looking at everyone's images. It's nice. It's good to see.
Yep, for sure.
And there was quite a lot of comments about the park passes and things. Nev says in WA you got to pay for everything. Bring your credit card. It'd be nice if it funds stopping graffiti artists. Oh, do people? Lisa Leach says it astonishes me why people visit the Tarkine and scratch their name in the rocks. Ugh.
Yeah,
That's frustrating.
It's like people go to the bamboo forest in, is it Osaka, and scratch their name in the bamboo. Bamboo
Oh,
trunks.
yeah. Yeah.
And they do it here at the Botanical Gardens too.
Yeah. That's what I was going to do. I was going to bring up Flickr before
Oh
we
yeah.
bring up one of my photos. Because I thought to test out Flickr, I was like, well, I'll put some of my photos on, my old photos, because I don't really post much on anything. So I'll let you pick, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we? My gallery walls are bare. No, they're not. I've got galleries. What the hell? Oh, albums. I still don't know what a gallery versus an album is. All right, I'm figuring it out. I never had Flickr, I don't think, back in the day when it was actually the main photo sharing website. I don't remember if I was actually on there. All right, so you can pick. Don't pick the Vietnam one. We've had that on the show. We've had lots of the sports stuff on the show, but you can pick between sports and weddings. You'd be the.
Let's go weddings. You keep talking about how great you were as a wedding photographer. I'm yet to see any proof of that. So let's go weddings.
This is just some stuff. I even messaged Jim. I was like, where are my good photos? I don't know. Without me having to, because all my stuff in Lightroom is, when we worked on weddings, we worked on them in every wedding had its own catalog.
Yep.
They're not like an easy to reference thing. I'd have to go back, find the reference catalog, and then most of the images are still stored on Jim's big RAID drive at his house. So it's like, it would be a whole thing for me to dig through the archives. But this is what I uploaded, and I'll scroll through, and you can just pick one, and that can be the photo we
Let's
bring
go
up
with
for
that
me
black and white top left. Up a little bit.
This one?
That one. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting choice. So this is Shona. This is one of the best weddings I ever photographed, and this is her DJing. This was an amazing wedding. Like she arrived with her kids and her husband in the same car because she was like, why would we take different cars? Like, we want to be together. Yeah. She already had kids. Anyway, it's a long, beautiful story. But yeah, it was one of the nicest weddings I ever photographed. And yeah, this is the bride essentially DJing her own wedding on a laptop hooked up to a sound system and just having the best time. Yeah, her wedding got 2 included, and one of these is in it, this one as well. That was her explaining to her little boy that he'll be okay because this was pre-ceremony, because he was sad that, she had to go and do the ceremony.
Oh,
so yeah. Anyway,
that's very
weddings,
cool.
hey?
Yeah, I know that black and white one, just because it doesn't look like a normal wedding shot. Clearly, it was either a guest or the bride.
Yeah.
Completely out of character for what you expect to see in a wedding album. But I love it because it was so candid and obviously has a story attached to it.
Yeah.
It's not just, here's another pose. There's something going on here that's meaningful and important to them.
Yeah. Anyway,
cool.
So that's how Flickr works. We'll have to see I wonder if this could work for the images section. We'll see. But that's the only thing is I don't think I can zoom in on this. No, it's already at maximum size.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Anyway,
Maybe we need to just
we
need to have a meet with Dennis and Craig and get a bit of a shoot on Flickr and see what we can do with it for the show.
Yeah.
And the community. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a really good thing. If we could integrate it into the show, that'd be great.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Dennis says, show the image details it lists, all the EXIF data. That's the real feature of Flickr. It didn't bring it in for this. I might not have had EXIF data on that particular file. I grabbed these files off like Dropbox and stuff. We'd used them for marketing and things like that. So they weren't, but yes, some of my images pulled in EXIF data, and that is really cool because if we can just have that just sitting there, that's a really great feature. And you can even search by cameras and stuff on there to see what other people have shot with your camera or camera you're looking at and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And Dennis says, the quality is exceptional. The quality does look a million times better than like Facebook. a million times better. Like the photos actually look the way they're supposed to. Thanks, Phil. Thanks very much for that. Very nice.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And Greg Carrick says, so one photo each from next week. Let's do it. Yeah, let's aim for that. We'll start sort of heading in that direction. One image each. Send them in. Make them a good one. If there's a question about that photo, put it in there. Or if there's just why you picked it or anything that we can talk about would be wonderful.
Yeah, for sure. But that is a lovely place to wrap up. Thank you to everyone who sent in images for the Your Images section. As I mentioned earlier, it is our favourite part of our Monday evenings. We get to celebrate your work and your craft and your art. And I think we each take away something from that experience, which is invaluable, something that AI can't replace. But just a couple of housekeeping things, folks. This has been the Camera Life Random Photography Show. If you're new here, say hi. Say hello in the comments now or later. Give us a like. It certainly helps out a lot. It lets other people know that we have content worth sharing. And also subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. We'll make the first one free, just for you. But subscribe and tickle the bell icon, because that way you'll get notifications of every show that we have coming up in your time zone. So you can plan your week around us, because that's how important we are. But I'm Greg. He's Justin. And we are the Camera Life Podcast. And we hope you've enjoyed tonight, and we hope that you all have a safe and happy and creative week ahead.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to some peeps.
Speaking of week ahead, Thursday, who have we got? Is it
Thursday? We've got David Balduzzi, who
Yes.
is he's an Australian photographer, Italian-born, but Australian photographer. He's got a great story to tell. The week after, we've got Cam Blake joining us for his, even though he's been on the show a couple of times, he's joining us for his Thursday morning interview in, not this week, but next. But yeah, I think I've booked out guests until June now. So lots happening.
Yeah, crazy. Final thing, Hype Steamer. How do I share my photos? It's old school. Email them to justin@luckystraps.com.au. That's me. So email a photo to justin@luckystraps.com.au and we will pull it up on next Monday's show next week. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
All right, let's
just
roll
no
some.
dick pics.
Please don't. Thanks LTK. Thanks Gareth. Thanks Phil. Who else is here? Paul, Tweak, Greg Carrick, other Paul, Rick Nelson, Lisa Leach. Nev says he's got a shark pic. It's cool. I don't know what that means. Craig, good to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dennis. Thanks for everything. I'm excited to watch that video about your exhibition. Philip Johnson. Who else was around? I don't know. There were so many. I've lost track of you all. LTK, if I didn't say David Skinner. Everybody. Maya Hall, if you're listening, thank you. And everybody. We'll catch you on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Bye, Robert
See you then,
Varner.
guys. Be safe, everyone.